You know what I find very weird, to the point of almost being suspicious, is the video I posted yesterday, "You Are a God, So Act Like It," got 2,000 views in its first 10 minutes being up, but now it sits at just 14,000 views after 19 hours. That strikes me as being ever so slightly stinky. You know, seems like a little tampering might have gone on, but okay, I can't control that. I can only control what I speak, what I put out there into the world. You know, what the world does with it, I have no say in. You guys do, of course. You can choose to make the YouTube algorithm meaningless by sharing this content, but if you're not sharing it now, that just shows me that it's not good enough yet. It's not yet driving into the heart of what you need, because if you've watched this content and you know, and you felt like it was speaking to the very depths of your soul, then you would almost be powerless not to share it at that point. The fact that you aren't yet behaving in that manner shows me that I am not yet tapping into the depths of your power. But that's okay, because I'm patient and I'm persistent. So let's talk about some of the things going on in the world today, shall we? Cost increases in cattle feed, rising crop transportation costs, combined with severe drought conditions in the western United States, ongoing labor shortage issues, and the war in the Ukraine. All of these factors and more spelling food shortages in the near future. We've already seen massive inflation, of course, at the grocery store. The cost of milk is up 25% since before the pandemic. The cost of bacon is up 35% in that same time frame. Beef prices are up 16% compared to a year ago. Food prices are up 10% overall. But there's no sign of them coming down anytime soon. Things are so bad that even Costco is raising prices in its food courts. They're not going to raise the price of the hot dog that's famously $1.50, at least not yet. But a lot of other food court items are going up in price. The good news is that maybe this is going to help with the obesity epidemic, right? Yeah, it's a little harsh. Sorry, America. On Twitter, Shoe on Head continues to meme about how she is not going to let corporate America make her eat bugs. You know, why she's so averse to eating bugs, I guess it's because they're gross. I don't really see how it's really any grosser than eating cow flesh now that we're like really thinking about what's gross, but whatever, you know. I've got good news for Shoe, though. With global insect populations in serious decline, bugs might not even really be a viable alternative at this point. Like, humanity has fucked up the earth so bad that monarch butterflies are facing extinction. But some of the only insects whose numbers are increasing are cockroaches and mosquitoes. We're making the planet less habitable for the insects that we like, that help us pollinate our crops and that are beautiful. And we're making the world more habitable for the bugs that we hate, that are pestilential, like cockroaches and fucking mosquitoes. I wonder if Shoe on Head will eat those if the alternative is, you know, starvation. She doesn't look like she really eats that much anyway. Really, I'm the one who should be complaining. I'm probably going to have to finish off a movie theater-size bucket of cockroaches every day just to meet my calorie quota. I wonder how many calories a cockroach has anyway. You know, I did some research. The only thing I could find was that they said a cup of cockroach milk, which they're not sitting there milking cockroaches. It's basically a euphemism for a pureed cockroach. I guess the end mixture is kind of whitish in color. You know, that's about 700 calories per cup. Oof. I hope we at least have some chocolate syrup or something. I'm going to start stockpiling some Hershey's chocolate syrup. You know, a spoonful of chocolate syrup helps the roach milk go down, I hope. Seriously, though, you know, with these impending food shortages, you know, you guys might want to stock up on staple foods that stay good for a while, like dried beans, rice, canned meats, canned vegetables, dried fruits, that kind of thing. There's guides out there that'll tell you what to stockpile and how to store it and stuff like that. You know, and even if this crisis turns out to be overblown, it's not a bad idea to have at least a few months worth of food with long shelf lives around, because you never know what's going to happen. Maybe it's not the collapse of society in general, but maybe it's, you know, a hurricane rolls through, an earthquake, or whatever, you know, sort of natural disaster might, you know, befall someone living in wherever you are. You know, I don't know where you live. Or if, you know, you want to be ahead of the curve, what you could do, you want to be an enterprising entrepreneur, you could just, you know, open up a little roach milk factory, start churning that shit out, get ready to be the biggest entrepreneur in the wasteland, you know? I'd call it something else, though. I'd call it like survival milk or happy milk, maybe, you know? Put a little cartoon sunshine on the front, put some shades on them, you know? Little cartoon sunshine is wearing the shades, even though, you know, that always bothered me when the cartoon sun wears the shades, because it's like, you are the sun, you know? Like, what's that? That gets, whatever, though. He's got, you know, the thumbs up. He's smiling real big, like, yeah, you know, he's happy. He's a fucking happy sunshine, because he's going to sell you some goodness, you know? And then big old bottle of fucking pureed roach guts for you. Vital calories, vital protein. Yeah, you turn your nose up at it now, but maybe in the wasteland that used to be America, it'll start to look a little bit more appealing. Another thing that a lot of people are scared of is living in pods. I see these people say, I will not eat bugs. I will not live in pods. I actually saw an article recently that said, young people are choosing to live in pods instead of apartments. Choosing is my favorite word in that sentence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I like the word choosing there. You know, it strikes me as just a little humorous. The funny thing about the pods is, you know, they're not even that inexpensive. Like, you would think, like, oh, you living in a pod, that's got to be like $200 a month or something at least, right? Like, you're saving a lot of money. No, some of these pods can cost like $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month to live in like I mean, it's basically like a semi-voluntary prison with strangers, sharing a kitchen, sharing a bathroom. Like, what a great world we've built for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, if only our stupid ancestors could see us now. Like, you know, you imagine that your great-grandpa, like, I live in a quaint farmhouse in a quiet valley where I raise up goats and chickens, and every morning I watch the sunrise over the verdant green mountains as I sip my morning coffee. It's like, oh yeah? Well, sorry to tell you, Gramps, but you're a fucking loser, bitch. Oh yeah. Because for $1,200 a month, I live in a pod the size of one of your chicken coops, and I share a common area with 60 strangers. The guy above me snores like a freight train, and I'm pretty sure the only reason I haven't killed myself yet is because I can't find the privacy to even do that. Hey, Jeremy, pass the roach milk, would you, brah? $1,200 a month, man, to live in a box with a bed. Our present is so bleak that you'd almost take like the dystopias of old over it at this point, wouldn't you? Like, I can imagine someone reading 1984 now like, damn, this Winston Smith has got it good. You know? Like, how he's got his own bedroom with like a dresser and everything. Holy crap. Tonight, when I rest my weary head on the pillow of my pod, and you know, I listen to the sounds of 60 snoring strangers fidgeting and farting and having whispered conversations, I hope that I dream of a better life in the utopian society of Oceania. You know? Oh, where Big Brother's going to give me my very own room with my very own things. Yes, what a beautiful dream that would be. Too bad the hypno drones will only allow me to dream of advertisements now. Ah, yes, the new double jellyfish bacon burger from McDonald's with 100% mosquito beef patty, you know? And a hard tack bun, only $250, and a social credit score over 50, because that's another thing they're scared of, the social credit score. Ooh. Man, the great thing about these dystopias is the only, they're never really like true predictions of the future. They're always like the creator of the dystopias. Criticisms of the present magnified like tenfold. They're always just exaggerations of what people fear in the now. So like you're talking to a right-winger and what they're scared, oh, I'm going to eat bugs and live in a pod and be subject to the social credit score. You talk to the left-winger, they're scared of like a theocracy run by militant fascists who crush anyone who's different, and they force us all to conform to their narrow view of how human beings should be, and anybody who's the least bit different will not be tolerated. They'll be destroyed, if not physically, then mentally, you know, brutally reprogrammed, brutally forced to exist within the confines of the narrow worldview of the Christian fundamentalist. You know what both those scenarios have in common, by the way? You know, the people, as in the vast majority of us, are all suppressed while some unseen group of elites rule from the luxury of a palace somewhere, you know? They're not subject to the same rules as we are. They're not subject to the same conditions that we are. You know what else bears a striking resemblance to that description? Reality, right? The present, right now, right here. So maybe instead of crying about these terrible conditions that are yet to come, maybe instead of whining about this dark future that's heading our way, we could actually, I don't know, try to solve some of the problems of the actual present. Like, you know what I mean? I guess that's a crazy thought, right? Trying to actually fix things. Ooh, that's scary, because that would mean change, and change is bad. There's nothing scarier than change. Even if you're on a, like, there are so many people right now that even though we're on a bullet train to hell are still like, nah, I don't think we should change course because who knows where we'll end up. I don't know. Like, when we know where we're going is bad, it seems to me like any course correction would be a good idea. But I guess I'm crazy like that. All I can say to you is you'd better start believing in dystopias, Miss Turner. You're in one.